So within this about 1 million of square meters mixed-use program, you have, of course, some key program in terms of culture, but also in terms of leisure. It's also this mix again of program of culture, which are mainly in France are public or sometimes private, but in this case, it's, and as well some leisure, big leisure park associate with that you can see here, associate with a lot of shops, and which of course have been created as well in the site some financial potential to also develop the rest and to develop the neighborhood, the school, the museum, le Musée des Confluences, which will take place totally at the end of the, or at the meeting of the rivers, and to have a really very, very high input on this neighborhood that going to be partly inaugurated in 2 weeks. So of course that is it's a large partnership. I think those big large transformation of housing, of industrial sites in neighborhoods and in such a kind of high challenging neighborhood are of course a large partnership, but it's I think it's this goal also of everybody, whatever politics, the private, and of course all the other actor. That's create at the end that this neighborhood is possible and going to start nearly its second phase. So few images of, well, this is our project, but creating really a total new dimension of a neighborhood within, but still with conviviality, creating places where you can actually go, you can invest. This is along a little bit further on the river where they restored or with more or less money actually, because this one there is still few buildings which are dedicated to art, and that's where you have as well La Sucrière, which is one of the main important contemporary place now for art in France. They organize a biennale every 2 years, I think, which is very good and popular. And suddenly the whole neighborhood and as well the city changed totally his role, the role of the city, the place of the city in the country become totally different. This was in another site, which actually it's where there is other strategy in Luxembourg, Esch-sur-Alzette, Belleval. It's a large, really strong industrial place. There are the factories of Profilart Bed, which are industries of steel, and here again, a sort of groupment of Agora, the Luxembourg government, and the Profilart Bed, owner of the place, to develop very, very large neighborhood with high as well identity. In this place it was more about university, but as well museum, neighborhood housing, mixed use, but as well to keep the industries. So a part of the industry that you see on the right is actually maintained and will be maintained in place. They reduced the most polluted one and they kept the part which is. So it's also another kind of strategy, and it's also interesting. It's to say that in a way we can have within site which have been always with this strong industrial soul, I would say, and we can keep the part of the industry, the one which is, of course, not polluting, and in the same time, next to it, build quite challenging programs. So, of course, it's have as well another particularity. This site is that it's really located on the border of France. So the position of being kind of frontier as well is actually revealed as being very interesting. So this is this heart of where there was this at the same time keeping the building and same time bringing new building there. Oops. I think it's this famous incompatibility in between PC and Mac. No, I'm not very good in that, but looks like that. So that matter, you won't see the photos of the image. So this is the site, part of site which is kept, and this is in fact the project which will be realized, which is another Dutch, Jokunen, who in this project. And you can see how the factories are kept and are progressively building are done and program take place, and where you have as well this use of building as a kind of landmark as well within the neighborhoods, and talking to each other in a way, responding to existing building. And then finally, I wanted to finish with it's a small program in the Netherlands, and it's my first master plan, and that was it's in the north of Amsterdam, along a river which is called the Zaan, and it's a site which actually is the most ancient industrial site in Europe. Mainly the fabrication of pigments for paintings, and there is this very, very long tradition. And at a certain moment, like in lot of places, industries innovate, places are no longer in use, industry moves somewhere else where they can build new industries, and then there is this place which is fantastically located in the center, and the demand from the municipality to do a neighborhood with that one. But as well, a very big problem, which is also very often in those sites, is the huge pollution, wave pollution, which we're really going to 30 meters deep, very important. And of course, the impossibility to keep some of those buildings, which were actually some of them fantastic. What was interesting as well is that there was along the river a real scale of industry, which was extremely exceptional, because behind you had small housing, small almost village housing, and then in the front this very, very large barrier of industry. And in fact, when we start there, we start like very often, you just go in the site, you hang around, you meet the people who are living there, you go in the bars, local, and we realized that actually people were far from being, how can I say, from dislike these industries. They were far from dislike the fact that there was a big, huge contrast in between their housing and this place. They were actually extremely proud. And this proudness of industry, of industrial site, of the inhabitants, is actually a crucial thing. And this has been for us determinant, because we thought, okay, well, we have to find a way to develop these neighborhoods, but without denaturate the site, by keeping an industrial soul. And that's what we tried to do, even though we had, I'm sorry that it looks like there's a problem. Well, so we did work. That's few things to give. For example, this idea of this big mass floating, and because we had this pollution, we actually installed a parking layer in between the polluted soil and the ground where the buildings are, and this parking is ventilated. So that allows, for example, that we didn't have to dig to 30 meters down in order to have an unpolluted places to build on the top. Using, of course, public space, the language of industriality as well for this place is mainly a residential neighborhood. And yeah, we wanted to actually to articulate as well this neighborhood with the housing in the back, but still preserve this kind of almost secret aspect of the river. And I must say that this couple are a bit my mascot in French, we say, because this man was working in the factory all his life and living in the back, in the neighborhood behind. And when the building have been done, he said, well, actually, I'd like to find back the place I've been working. And so he bought this apartment. And he's somewhere, this couple, they told me probably one of the best compliment I will never had, and I had on this place. They say, well, it's modern, it's nice, but it's more than that. It belongs to the Zan, it belongs to the river, it belongs to the aim of the river. And then we thought that, well, somewhere we did succeed to not transform totally this neighborhood into a new, empty neighborhood. And I think this identity is something quite important to preserve within those reconversion. Thanks very much.